So again, good evening and welcome, guys. Today we are talking about a business opportunity, a business model that we call the 21st century business model. So obviously this opportunity is brought to us by a wonderful company called Mining City. And Mining City has combined two of the very powerful business instruments of the 21st century, namely cryptocurrencies and network marketing. So what we'll be able to cover tonight is I'll talk briefly about myself, who am I, why I got started. I will talk about, a very important gentleman by the name of Eyal Abramovich, and I'll talk about, his company, Mindbest and Mining City, why the two companies coming together, creates an unprecedented opportunity for ordinary people like you and myself. And most importantly, we're going to talk about how you and I can build a full-time income with this opportunity. Even though we're doing the opportunity, you could be doing the opportunity part-time, but you can still be able to generate a full-time income. Right, so a brief, about myself, just as a way of introduction. My name is Lonobo Fololo. I'm a cryptocurrency enthusiast. I'm an entrepreneur. And, I am a property investor. I've been an entrepreneur for most of my life. And I tell people that, the first ever business I did, I was 15 years old. And, and we started a photography business, and it was with a partner, and that business didn't go very well. But one thing I learned from there, is that I was able to approach, and we got, an opportunity to shoot a 21st, birthday celebration. And oh boy, did we mess it up, right? Because we didn't have any experience, but we took, quite a big undertaking, and we couldn't be able to deliver, And, my entrepreneurship journey continued, when I was in varsity during my second year. I got into network marketing for the first time. And when I was introduced into network marketing, through network marketing, I got to learn about people like Robert Kiyosaki, Donald Trump. I read his book, Think Like a Billionaire, The Art of the Deal, and also Robert Kiyosaki's, greatest book of all time, which is, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, those two books really opened up my eyes and my understanding in terms of how wealth actually works. Because, for me, going to university was never really about building a career, but I was going there because I wanted to make wealth, right? So once I got to learn from these two gentlemen, how the world of wealth actually works, upon graduation, I only worked for 18 months for a boss. And I simply went straight into entrepreneurship because that's just the person that I am, right? I did not want anyone controlling my destiny, financial destiny, that is. I wanted, I thought my future is much better in my own hands than in the hands of somebody else, who's got their own interest at heart, and that's why I then ventured into entrepreneurship. Now, my journey started as I've done lots of different business. I've sold property. I had a Rosen franchise that I ran for about 6-7 years, and up until I went back into network marketing. Now, for me choosing network marketing over real estate, over my business that I was running for 7 years, it was simply a business decision. And it's one of the best decisions that I've ever made, in my life, as far as my business and my entrepreneurship career is basically concerned. So tonight we're going to talk about, network marketing, right? So the reason why I chose network marketing over everything I was doing, it's because, in my real estate business was a highly localized business, meaning I had an office in Port Elizabeth, Motherwell. And as such, my only exposure was the real estate market in Motherwell, in Port Elizabeth. And, for me, if I wanted to venture outside of Port Elizabeth, that would mean that I would need to open another office, maybe let's say in East London or Cape Town or Bloemfontein or Johannesburg or Durban. That would have cost me a fortune, right? And not only in monetary terms, but in terms of, systems being in place and so forth for monitoring and evaluation. And I did not have that kind of money. And I did not have that kind of, those kinds of systems. And so I was looking for an opportunity that is largely scalable. And my real estate business was not scalable. And more than that, my real estate business, I was living like a hunter, meaning I had to kill for me to eat. In other words, I need to make a sale for me to earn an income. And if I don't make a sale for the next 2 weeks, then I know in the next 2-3 months, I'm actually going to be reaping, the fruits of me not being able to make a sale. And that is not earning an income. So I had to always be on the run, always be on the chase. There was no time for me to, opportunity for me to take a downtime, and just enjoy life with the family, right? I always had to be on the ball. And I remember one day thinking, this is not really what I signed up for, right? What I was really looking for when I went to entrepreneurship is I wanted to have my own time. I wanted to own and control my own time, right? And I wanted to earn way above average income, right? And once I realized that none of those were actually being met, that's when I started looking for alternatives. And that alternative for me was none other than network marketing, right? So now, a lot of people, often ask this question: can we all be entrepreneurs? Right? If you think we can all be entrepreneurs, say yes in the comment section. If you don't think we can all be entrepreneurs, say no in the comment section. Let's see what you guys think. But let me share with you my thoughts. I was raised, largely by my grandmother. And my grandmother lost her job, because of ill health, sometime, I think I was around 6-7 years old. And, her only daughter was my mother, who was in and out of jobs, so she could not necessarily rely on anyone to take care of her, right? She had to make ways. And get what she did. She took whatever money she got from the employer. She actually went and bought, fruits and vegetables that she could then resell, and, she carried on that business for, a few months or even a year or maybe 2. And then, once, things started going haywire, that's when she decided to actually do something else, right? She sold things like, secondhand clothes, what we used to call ou klere, right, in Afrikaans. She used to sell secondhand clothes. She used to grow pot plants and sell them. So she did everything she can for her to be able to sell. She found something to sell. If that something meant she had to go and buy it and resell, or if it meant that she had to actually create something to go and sell, but she found something to sell, right? So what is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is someone who undertakes an activity that normally involves, taking on financial risk with the hope of earning a profit. And so according to that, my grandmother fits the profile of an entrepreneur, okay? But as such an entrepreneur, she did not become, I normally say there's 2 types of entrepreneurs. You get those that become entrepreneurs, by inspiration. They want to change the world, they want to achieve this and that, and then you get those who become entrepreneurs, for survival purposes, right? For them, selling, it's about you. It makes a difference between you eating at night or not eating that particular night, okay? So you get those 2 types of entrepreneurs. So my grandmother was an entrepreneur. She did not build a Tesla. She did not build, a biggest company, In fact, her business was, largely 100%, informal, right? She never registered a business, but guess what? She was able to generate an income, up until, the very few days before she actually passed on. That's what she wanted to do, and that's what she did. She was an entrepreneur. So back to our question, can we all be entrepreneurs? My answer is a definite yes. We can all be entrepreneurs, but we won't all be entrepreneurs because of the effort it actually takes for people to be an entrepreneur. As long as people think that they've got, alternatives, people will obviously go and look for those alternatives that in their own minds, they think that it's actually much easier, right? So, my story, I left a job because I wanted, to control my own destiny. I didn't want someone telling me that you are only worth 10,000 Rand a month or 20,000 Rand a month, right? I wanted to create my own worth, okay? That's why, I became an entrepreneur, right? So my inspiration, it was purely personal, right? I didn't want to change the world in any way, or form, but I wanted to live life according to my own terms, right? I wanted financial freedom for myself and for my family, right? So The reason why I think all of us should actually consider being entrepreneurs, it's because as an entrepreneur, you've got unlimited earning potential. Nobody can tell you how much you can or you cannot earn. That all depends on you and how hungry you are to basically earn that kind of money. And over and above that, if you look at the job situation right now, you know, the world we're living in, the issue of job security does not exist anymore. And even those who do have job security, maybe because they think because they're working for the government or parastatal, you know, or a non-profit organization, whatever the case is, there is people who think that their jobs are secured. But guess what is not secured? Yes, your job might be secured, but your earning potential, right? You know, if you're earning so much, there's only so much you can do. If you look over the last 20 years, people, yes, have been finding jobs, but then if you look at the cost of living has been going high astronomically. But if you look at the income people are generating, it's actually been stagnating, right? So if you look 20, 30 years ago, professionals, engineers, doctors, and mechanical engineers, civil engineers, these people are living a comfortable life. But today, it is a completely different story. Why? Because the world we're living in is changing in a way, in a much more faster, than anything we've seen before, right? So definitely people need to consider entrepreneurship as a way, maybe even to supplement their income if they happen to love and are having a great time in their jobs, because there's people who actually do so, right? So your contribution to society as an entrepreneur, is so great, but people actually understate it, right? Look at it this way. Anyone who becomes successful as an entrepreneur, they are obviously going to hire people. They might not even hire them on a full-time basis, but they will actually get someone to do this or do that for them, right? They'll afford to buy a bigger house. They'll afford to buy, the second car, right? They'll afford to take their family on holiday, right? So they are contributing to the economy, right? They are contributing to society, right? And even not so, even by creating, products and so forth, they contribute to society. Entrepreneurs are actually an invaluable, contribution to society. Now, your capital contribution for you start your own business, it's actually way much more, smaller than what actually people think, right? But you'll see as we continue. So as an entrepreneur, you can work where you want, and most importantly, you can work with whoever you want. Do you know that every single day on a Monday, the percentage of heart attacks, go up by 35%. Why? People go to buildings they hate, to go and work with people they don't really like, in environments that they actually can't even tolerate. That is why, right now, if you look at the mental health, everyone is talking about mental health. Can you imagine what percentage, of the working environment actually contributes to people not being in the right mental state? It contributes immensely, right? So as an entrepreneur, you actually network with like-minded people, right? You get to be able to control your own financial destiny. For me, these are some of the things that actually appeal to me as to why I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Now, over and above that, as an entrepreneur, is that you've got unlimited income potential. So in the world today, the world is normally divided into three equal parts, not equal, but into three parts. You have the poor, right? And then you've got the middle class, and then you've got the rich people, right? Now, these people often have a different worldview as far as their money is concerned, as far as their business is concerned, as far as how they're investing, as far as everything that they actually do in life, right? Now, if you look at what these people do, everyone has got some form of income. My grandmother did not have a job, but she had an income, and where did she derive the income? She was selling stuff, okay? Some people have got a job. Some people have got a business, right? But, all of us, we do have some form of income. But this is how the income of the poor actually looks like. They get money. The money that they make actually comes out, of the expense column, right? The money comes out of the expense column. They get the money, and they normally go and buy food and stuff like that. Right now in winter, they will spend a lot of money buying paraffin and stuff like that so that they can keep warm, right? So there's actually no money for luxury or any of the sort, right? Expensive, needed expenses are actually having to be paid, right? In fact, more often than not, there's more expenses than there is income, right? So that's the fate, of the poor. And the beautiful thing about this is that nobody, has to, actually endure that up until they die. Someone can make a choice and say, yes, this is what, I found myself, this is the condition I found myself in, but guess what? I'm not going to accept it. I'm actually going to choose to do something different with my life, right? So, excuse me, guys, I'm looking for my, so this thing, guys, is about choices, right? It's about choices. I'm looking for my cursor. It keeps on disappearing, guys. So give me just 1 second. Okay, let me do this. There we go. Right, got it. So that's the fate of the poor, guys. And then you've got the middle class, right? These are the people who can afford, some of the nicer things in life. These guys probably stay in the suburbs, or in the better parts of the townships. They normally have a car, they normally take their kids to the former model schools and so forth, right? So these are the guys. They also earn their income via what is called the job. Someone once said the word job, and please don't quote me, it's someone who said this. The word job simply is an acronym for the journey of the broke, right? I don't know about that, but someone said that, right? So now they will have an income, deriving from their job, but for them, yes, they will take care of their expenses, but not only that, they also take care of their liabilities. So for them, money comes in, the expenses, are taken care of, and their liabilities. Now, their biggest problem is the fact that these guys are basically taught that, things like your primary home and, your car, that's a car, probably a Tesla, right? And your car, these are the things that they're actually falsely labeled as assets, right? They are not assets because rich people don't look at them as assets, they look at them as liabilities, right? How rich people actually, define assets is anything that brings them, income. If it puts money in your pocket, then it is an asset. But it takes money from your pocket, then it's not an asset. That's how rich people actually look at it, right? So for me, it's very simple. I want to emulate the rich because that's what I want to be. So what the rich do is whatever source of income they might have, right? And more often than not, their source of income is coming from the B quadrant, right? So their source of income is basically their businesses. So they will have multiple businesses. And what do those businesses do? This business bring an income, right? So the income comes in, and what do they do? The first thing they take care of would be their assets, right? There's different types of assets. These guys, take all their money and they pay for these assets. And then these assets do what in return? They give them passive income. Now that passive income takes care of their expenses and their liabilities, right? They also have their liabilities, but they don't take care of their liabilities, from their earned income. They're taking care of them from their passive income. That's the difference, between the rich and the poor, right? And the reason why the rich, keep on getting richer is because of what they know and because of what they understand and, most certainly because of what they do. And this is something that all of us can can learn, right? So you might be a network marketing professional, but, look at network marketing as the means towards the end, not the end itself, right? The end is you want to create wealth, right? And network marketing happens to be one of those tools that you can use to create massive income. And with the income you're generating, you can then be able to come and build an asset portfolio. Because look at it this way, if you are the sole source of income right now in your family, and you're taking care of your family, maybe even your siblings, ask yourself this question: if something will happen to you or to your business, how will you then take care of your family and your siblings, right? So you definitely want to make sure that the money that you make is building an asset portfolio, and those assets are then used to then be able to fund your lifestyle, so that in the event whatever something happens, you're not able to work, you've got assets that are giving you passive income, right? So that is the goal of the rich, right? So as a network marketing professional, I've chosen to partner with a company called Mining City. Now we're going to talk about what Mining City has done just in a minute. But most importantly, I want us to have a look at the CEO of Mining City, this guy called Greg Rogoski, who he is and what he's done, and what he has done with Mining City over the last 2 years. And then we can look at why Mining City. Let's have a look. Right, so that was Greg Rogoski. And Greg Rogoski, the CEO of Mining City. Mining City has done sales of over $2 billion in the last 2 years. Now, that's no easy feat for any company, especially in the cryptocurrency space and in the network marketing space. But Mining City, even as a newcomer, they were able to do that, right? So I'm going to take you one of the reasons, some of the reasons why Mining City has been able to do that, right? Now, one of the major things as an entrepreneur in network marketing, you definitely want to be part of a company that engages its community, right? A company, that keeps its community, updated and engaged, right? So if you can see, this was the first ever global, convention for Mining City. It was in a country called Vietnam, right? It was my first time, being in Vietnam. Actually, it was my first time meeting both Greg Rogoski and A.L. Abramovich, right? So Mining City, they do, quite a lot of events. And there was a recent one a few months back in Dubai. And unfortunately, we couldn't be able to travel because of COVID. As soon as COVID is over, Mining City will be rolling out, at least once or twice a year, they are global conventions, right? So more on Mining City. Mining City, you can actually follow them, they've got presence on most social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, and Instagram, and most importantly, YouTube, right? Now, what makes Mining City special? Mining City partners, with two of the industry experts. For Mining City to be able to do what they do, they have chosen to partner with two of the industry experts, one being Mindbest. We're going to talk about Mindbest just now, and the second one being BTC.com. Now, if you've been in the cryptocurrency space, you would understand BTC.com is one of the biggest and the oldest company in the cryptocurrency space right now. Very, very credible, because one of the things that you want to look at before you partner with a company is the credibility, right? Credibility is quite important, especially for a company that is, less than 5 years old. You want to find out, which company is actually aligning themselves with this particular company. If there's a company with a great reputation and, that aligns itself, then you know that at least you are, in the right place, because even a 20-year-old company was once a 1-year-old company, right? So now, one of the things that's also important is that, we do get regular newsletter. There's social media presence, company events, like I said, regular updates on Zoom, and also they invite strategic partners like Mindbest and the Bitcoin Vault team, the Electric Cash team, so to keep the community updated. Now, let's have a look at, the guy behind, Mindbest. This guy name is Eyal Abramovich. Now, I'm going to tell you more about Eyal, but let's have a look at this. Right, so that was Eyal Abramovich. Now, Eyal Abramovich, guys, is a serial entrepreneur and a serial inventor. This guy is obsessed with solving the world's problem, using technology, right? And, he's created a company called Mindbest. And Mindbest is a company that, allows Mining City to be able to do what they do. They run and manage the data centers or the cryptocurrency mining data centers for Mining City. And not only that, but they've built quite a strong name in the blockchain community space, because they've spoken on many major blockchain conferences around the world, adding into the current body of knowledge within the cryptocurrency space. In the next 5, 10, 20 years, Mindbase will be one of the company that we'll be talking about as far as the evolution and the growth of the blockchain technology space. Now, the headquarters are in Warsaw, Poland, together with Mining City. They're sharing one building, and they've won numerous awards for the top 10 run and built Bitcoin mining facility in the world. They are one of the top 10 biggest mining facility in the world, right? So now, what makes people win in network marketing? Because if you look at it, Mining City as a company, it's based in Warsaw, Poland, right? So, the day-to-day interaction is not necessarily, yes, it might be there, but it won't necessarily be from a network marketing perspective. It will be from a corporate perspective. So what we have done is we've created an environment. We've created, a movement called Fox Nation, right? Now, Fox Nation focuses on the 4 pillars where we are educating and one another and encouraging one another to be students of network marketing, number one, because it is a profession that's basically grossing over $200 billion in sales, with over 35% of that being paid to people like you and me who are independent distributors in the network marketing profession. So it is a very, very big industry that actually pays the second net to sport. You've got sport, and then the next one is network marketing, right? And then everything else basically follows from there. And one of the things that we basically focus on is personal development, right? The be to have, because we realize that over the last 5 years in the network marketing space, I've realized that people look at the success, and they want the success, but they don't actually know. I've had people asking me, Mr. Forola, tell me, if I want to make 1 million over the next 3 months, over the next 6 months, what do I have to do? And it's often very difficult to answer, because the answer they actually will get, it's not what they're looking for. It's not what you have to do, but it's who you have to become, right? And you can only become by actually doing, right? And reflecting on your being and growing your being as a person. right? So it's not about, if you are earning 10,000 Rand today, it's simply because that means that for, so far, you're a 10,000 Rand person, right? If you earn 100,000 Rand a month, it means that you have grown your being to be 100,000 Rand, a month person. And then the other thing we study is the cryptocurrency space. This will be evident in some of the teachings that we're going to do regarding the history of money, the emergence of cryptocurrencies, and the decentralized space right now, right? And over and above that, we focus on financial education. So many people who have come in the network marketing space, they make money, but then 5 years down the line, they are broke again. They're back to square one. Why? Lack of financial education. And this is something that we clearly don't want to see within our community. That is why no effort is spared to making sure that, we create an environment where people can learn the financial education, right? So let's have a look at this video, which is just simply an introduction to Fox Nation. The time of accelerated change, which is the 21st century. Okay? So the business that is hot today could be out of business tomorrow. Do you agree? Yes. Okay?
My name is Lonoba Fololo. I'm a cryptocurrency enthusiast. I'm also a family man. I'm a father of 4, born and bred in Port Elizabeth. Grew up in PE, studied in PE, and I now currently live in Johannesburg as recent as last year, December. Part of a company called Mining City. I'm a member of Mining City, but we have created, a family, a movement that we call Fox Nation. It's simply a movement that seeks to encourage entrepreneurship, personal development, especially in the cryptocurrency space. That's the space we are in, cryptocurrency and network marketing. So we seek to work as a family in helping each other to grow, to understand the industry, and to maximize the potential of the industry in terms of reaching our own goals and ambitions.
Right. So, on the previous slides, there was something there about 3 questions, which I did not actually even go through, but I want to talk to you about those 3 questions, right? Now, wherever you are, irrespective of what you're currently doing right now, to earn an income, in the times we're living in South Africa today, there's 3 questions all of us we need to ask ourselves. Number 1 is, how much? How much do you need for you to live comfortably? To say that you are living your best life today, how much do you actually need? On a monthly basis, how much do you think you need? Now think of that number, right? And if you have that number in your head, the second question you need to ask yourself is, how? How are you going to be able to generate that kind of an income? Okay? Right? So now the third question is, can you do it? So I've just shown you right now that, in network marketing, we've created an environment where you are in business for yourself, for your own benefit, for your own profit, for your own family, but you don't have to do it on your own, right? So we've created this environment, to be your support structure so that you can be able to grow, your business, right? So yes, you can do it because you're not in business on your own, but you're in business for yourself, right? So some of the stuff we do as a Fox Nation, we have regular team building training exercises, to make sure that all of us are equipped, right? And one of the things that's extremely important is the fact that there's already existing social proof. What do I mean by that? There's already people within our ranks, within our team, who have changed their lives because of this particular business, because of this particular environment, okay? So these are some of the things that, should give you boldness to say that if so-and-so can be able to do it, there's no reason why I am not going to be able to do it, okay? So all the events, that we do, which are highly, highly, highly recommended for you to attend. In fact, they're actually a must, to attend, because they're all geared toward helping you to grow your being, number 1, and number 2, to grow your business, right? And you can only grow your business by, acquiring certain skills that you can be able to implement to grow your business. And these are some of the stuff that we actually try to bring across for everybody, right? So the events themselves, like I said, they are personal growth orientated, and we also talk about wealth creation, and we also talk about tools. Now, something, in the next few months that is coming, guys, especially when it comes to the tools, there is more and more tools. We are consulting with people to make sure that we can be able to bring tools to the nation to make sure everybody, prospers, right? And all of this, guys, is basically for free. There is no monthly fee you pay to be part of Fox Nation, right? So now Mining City utilizes the network marketing model. Again, I want to reiterate, the network marketing business does more than $200 billion in sales, right? And 30 to 40% of that is paid to people like you and me in compensation, right? So that is why right now people are becoming multi-millionaires, right? Through network marketing, okay? So in Africa, in 2019 in Africa, we did sales worth over 12.9 billion rands, right? And can you imagine 12.9 billion rands, and with 30 to 40% of that being paid to independent distributors like you and myself, So, right now, the next growth frontier, for network marketing is basically Africa. And so, everybody wants to come to Africa. Why? Because Africa has got a young and a vibrant, population who basically wants to also live large as well. All right. So Mining City has identified this, and they're utilizing the network marketing business model. Now, let's just quickly browse through how you can make, as little as $200, a day with Mining City. So now, anyone who goes to YouTube, watches Mining City videos, they are, excited about partnering with Mining City. Guess what? The only way they can partner with Mining City is through someone who is already a member of Mining City. Now, that person gives them a referral link, and once they sign up, guess what? The referrer now gets paid, commission, right? So, it's sales just like your normal sales, but this one is done through a network marketing environment, right? So there's 3 basic ways Mining City compensates us. The first one is called the binary cycle bonus, where you can earn between $200 and $2,800 a day. So how that happens is actually quite simple. Now, Mining City has got, different mining plans, where people can basically start, if you refer 2 people and you place one on your left-hand side in what is called, our citizen tree. Now, let's say both of them happen to buy a platinum plan. Platinum plan will give you 21 credits. So what will happen is that you will then have 21 credits left and 21 credits right. Now, Mining City only requires 5 credits left and 5 credits right for them to give you your bonus of $200, right? So in this case, you've got way more than 5, right? Mining City will come and they will actually deduct 20 credits, which is the multiples of those 5, and they'll deduct 20 to the side. You're left with 1 on either side, and guess what's going to happen? You walk away with $800, right? $800 for having just signed 2 people. So this is just one of the bonuses, right? And when these people actually refer people, or you refer the third person, your credits will come and add to your existing credits, right? And everybody else joining, whether you sign them up or someone else sign them up, as long as they're placed within your structure, the credits will always keep on adding and adding and adding, right? So imagine you get to a place where you build a massive business and you are getting at least 10 credits on your left-hand side and 10 credits on your right-hand side every single day. Again, this is not just a single man's effort, but it's actually a team effort. Guess what's going to happen? You'll be walking away with $400 every single night. Why? Because you have built, a business that generates, in sales, credits 10 left and 10 right. That's just the one way we get paid. Now, the second way we get paid is called the match-up bonus. Match-up bonus will give you $10 every time someone in your team, makes their own $200. again, the network marketing business model is designed in such a way that no one person wins, okay? You are incentivized to make sure that, people in your team are actually winning as well. Yes, you can't force them to win, but you will definitely be there to encourage them and to help them to win if they want to win, right? So that is what I'm saying. I often say to people that in network marketing, you're simply looking for people who have been looking for a way out, just like I was looking for a way out, out of my real estate business, right? So now once you find those people and you work with them and they make $200, you make $10. Let's look at, potential income from there. Let's say you've got a total people, in your network of over 200 people, but out of the 200 people, only 50 are actually building the business, right? Now, those 50, if they make $200 every single day, it means you're getting, $10 times 50 people. So if they do that every single day for the entire month, that's multiplied by 30 days, So you are walking away with $15,000. $15,000 just from the $10. And this has got nothing to do with this one. In a way, you could be cycling here and making, $2,800 or $1,000, but you'll still be able to earn if, over and above that, people in your team are basically making $200, right? So that's just the second way we get paid. Now, let's get to the third way, and we get to, our bonuses. Right, so if you're finding value so far on what we've been sharing, I want you to type a V in the comment section. If you're finding value so far in what we are sharing, please type a V in the comment section. Right, so let's go to the third way we get paid. This is called, the level up commission. This one simply means that for the first 5 people you sign up, you get 5% referral commission, meaning you sign your first sign up, they buy whatever plan, you get 5%, sign up number 2, 5%, right? And all the way to number 5, that's your team A. And once you get to team B, which is now person number 6, 7, all the way to infinity, you now earn yourself 10% referral commission, right? So imagine if you're signing, at least one standard plan a day, right? From your team B, at least one standard plan a day. How much are you making? You're basically making $60, right? So $60, multiply that by 30. This is now besides everything else happening within your organization, right? So now, one of the things that you definitely want to do within your network marketing business is you want to always be playing with numbers, right? So if I want to make 150,000 Rand a month, how many $200 must I get? You can just even use one of these 3 ways you get paid to basically work out how you can get to that 150,000 Rand. So if your goal is to make, 500,000 Rand, you basically, you can calculate and work your way backwards, right? And if you happen to get stuck, contact your mentor, contact your upline, and say, look, my goal is to earn 200,000 Rands a month. How do I get there? This is what I've done so far. I think if I can do this and that, I'll definitely be able to earn that. What more input can you be able, to add? I can promise you right now, your upline and your sponsor, they will be way more than happy to work with you and make sure that you reach your goal, right? So now, just like, any network marketing business, there is, always rewards for those who achieve certain milestones, right? It's one thing to work without having a target, right? There is no, there is no ship that leaves the harbor without knowing where it's going, right? So when you enter your business, you need to understand what are the ranks in the business, right? And because these ranks here will actually give you social proof, because the minute you talk to people and say, I've joined a network marketing business and so forth, guess what's going to happen? Not everybody is going to take you seriously from the word go. Some will actually watch and see how you're going to progress, right? So even though they don't understand what builder is, but when they see you being celebrated as a city builder with sale, having done sales of $12,600 US. Some people might even think that that's how much money you've made, right? So, it then says to them, this person is going places, and guess what's going to happen? FOMO is going to kick in. They will want to go places with you, right? So if they see that you've just recently been celebrated as a city builder, now you're being celebrated as a city developer with sales of $60,000, guess what's going to happen? People will now start to take you seriously, because now they see this guy is basically making progress in whatever he has set himself up to basically go and achieve, right? And once you go to city manager, the community, we make a lot of noise about you. And guess what's going to happen? Your people are going to see that you are basically making progress, right? And once you get to the second one, city chief manager. Now, by the time you get here, it's already established that you ain't nothing to play with, right? You are not here to play, right? You are here to build a business and to create wealth. Then the next one is obviously the city mayor. And guess what? These ranks are not in vain, guys. It's not just for you, to be celebrated and you clap hands. Mining City actually gives you something for these ranks. If you become a city builder, $100, is your reward, right? If you become a city developer, $250 is your reward. And city manager, you get $3,500 as a bonus. And if you become a city chief manager, $50,000 becomes your reward. City mayor, $100,000 becomes your reward. And guess what, guys? You can have 5, 10, 20 accounts. You can rank as many of those accounts as you want, right? I don't know how many city manager accounts I've got right now. Just last week, yesterday, I was sharing, to another business partner. I opened one account. I haven't opened it in a long time, only to realize that this account became a city developer, and I was not even aware, right? That's just the beauty of our business model, where you can have multiple ways of earning within the same business. You can have more than one account where you're basically earning and ranking up, right? So now, obviously, you want to stay connected with the family. You can find us on Facebook. There's a private Facebook group called Fox Nation. You'll have to request to be added, and then we will approve you. And then you can also, this recording will be made available on this YouTube channel, Fox Nation. Please do like and subscribe on this, because all the videos that we're going to be doing are going to be on this, YouTube channel, which is the Fox Nation YouTube channel, right? So, guys, from my side, that is the business opportunity I wanted to share with you. I'm not sure if you've got any questions so far on what we have said.